ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। So namaste everyone.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Pranam.
So 12th mantra of the second section of first mundaka. Be ready to chant. Pariksha lokan.
Pariksha lokan.
Karmachitan.
Karmachitan.
Brahmanaha.
Brahmanaha.
Nirvedamayat.
Nirvedamayat.
Nasti akritaha.
Nasti akritaha.
Kritena. Tadvijnanartham. Sagurumevam. Abhigachet. Samitpanihi. Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. And we will also chant the sentence which we were discussing in the last class towards the end of the class. Nahi karminaha. Brahmanishtata. Sambhavate. Karmatma jnanayoho. Virodhat. Very good. So after the exhaustive commentary on this mantra and completing the explanation for the word Shrotriyam, Bhashyakara defined Brahmanishtam as the one who has hitva sarvakarmani kevale advaye brahmani nishta yasya soyam brahmanishtaha. So he said a brahmanishta is one who has sarvakarmani hitva, who has dropped all actions, given up all pursuits, all struggles in life. And such a person can only be a sannyasi. Because all said and done, a grihastha cannot get rid of all karmas because he has to do at the minimum keep performing the Nitya karmas like Sandhya Vandanam, Tarpanam, Shraddham, etc. Nitya karmas he cannot avoid till he takes Satyasa. Agnikaryam he cannot avoid. And therefore, according to Bhashyakara's definition, a Brahmanishta guru has to be a sannyasi only. And now, the Purva Pakshi, who has been patiently waiting in the wings to attack Bhashyakara, jumps in. He says, how can a Brahmanishta be defined in terms of a sannyasi? Because the Upanishad mantra itself does not say so. So why he questions Bhashyakara as to why he is interpolating, such ideas on his own in order to highlight the importance of sannyasa ashrama. Because he himself is a sannyasi, so he wants to promote his own, kith and kin. Of course, these words, Purva Pakshi does not state in so many words. In the Bhashyam, it is not there. But from Bhashyakara's explanation in the sentence, which we just now read, we can read this objection into the commentary. Bhashyakara says that the word Brahmanishta by implication means the exclusion of those who are given to performing karmas. He says a person who is committed to karmas has to take the role of a karta, and therefore he will have kartrutvam, doership. And this kartrutvam means that he has got ahankara, because karta means ahankara. For such a person who is karminah, Brahmanishtha, commitment to Brahman or Brahma Jnanam or Vedanta, he says, na sambhavati, it cannot happen. It is also not
Inge.
practical because time will not be available. Somebody is not unmuted. Let me mute
Connection.
everyone again.
Another? Oh,
So, for such a person who is committed to karma, commitment to Brahmanishtata or Brahmajnanam or Vedanta is not possible. It cannot happen because there won't be any time available. Whole day he will be spending in doing Nitya Karmas and also, taking care of his family. Vedanta is a committed pursuit. And if a person is a Brahmanishta, his only commitment is to abide in Brahman, which he is. And Brahman is what? He is Akarta. And therefore, this person, a Brahmanishta, cannot have Kartrutvam. And Bhashyakara said, that is why I said Sarva Karmani Hitva. Even though the Upanishad does not say in so many words, this is the logical conclusion one can come to, that a Brahmanishta is one who has dropped all actions, given up all pursuits and all struggles in life. He is the one who has actually swam across the ocean of samsara successfully, reached the other shore, and he now abides in the Brahma, in his own Swarupa, his Atma Swarupa. And Bhashyakara says there is one more important reason also. He says, Karmatma Jnanayoho. Between karma, which is Ahankara Pradhana, and Atma Jnanam, which is Atma Pradhana, the goal of one, that is karma, is punya and higher lokas. And the goal of another, that is Atma Jnanam, is moksha, liberation from all lokas. One is Tvampada Vachyartha and Tvampada Lakshya. Another is Tvampada Lakshyartha. So Virodhat, being opposed to each other. There is a Virodha, there is a opposition. These two cannot go together. And he says, therefore, I said Hitva Sarva Karmani or Hitva Sarvani Karmani. So Bhashikara says, you're just waiting to pick up something. Don't blame me unnecessarily. And in fact, this sentence which Bhashikara has said is grammatically incomplete. And therefore we can supply Virodhat Karminaha Brahmanishtata na bhavati Jnana Karma Samuchaya na bhavati. That na bhavati we can supply. So now the mantra says, Saha Gurumeva Abhigachet Samitpanihi Srotriyam Brahmanishtam. So the mantra says, mantra mentions only that Shishya should approach the Guru. Or rather put it this way, mantra says that the Shishya should approach the Guru, but it does not say thereafter what the Shishya should do. That's all. Tat Vijnanartham, to know that Shishya should go to a Guru. Then what he should do? And therefore Bhashyakara is supplying the missing part. He says, Saha tam gurum vidivat upasannah prasadya priched aksharam purusham satyam. In fact, Bhagavan Krishna tells in the 4th chapter of the Gita what the Shishya should do. There he says, Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. I hope Gita students will remember. So, the Shishya asking for the knowledge is an important part of the entire process of Vidivat Upasannaha. So, Shishya should not go to the Guru and say, please give me a job in your Gurukulam. That is not a mumukshu. So, he should go and ask the Guru for what purpose he has come. So he says, Saha tam gurum vidivat upasannaha. Such a Shishya, after approaching such a Guru properly, vidivat means properly, as prescribed in the Shastra, then what he should do? Thereafter, he should prasadhya. The Shishya should please the Guru by indicating that he is earnestly interested in the knowledge. So he has to reveal his jignyasa. And how is it done? Same Gita, pranipataha and seva. Pranipataha means doing ashtanga namaskara. And seva indicates readiness to serve the Guru and do whatever sadhana the Guru prescribes as an offering for the knowledge which the Guru will impart. So all these ideas are indicated by the word prasadya. So first of all, the Guru must be happy with the disciple. And Shishya should also be, conscious that the Guru is in a happy mood. Of course, Bhashyakara does not explain how to please a Guru. So again, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said, so we know tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. He should please the Guru doing namaskara and service. And when the Guru is pleased, prichet aksharam purusham satyam. Prichet, he should ask about that aksharam brahma, which is purusham brahma, which is Satyam Brahma. So all these three words indicate Brahman. And we have already seen in the previous section, Akshara Vidya is Paravidya. Therefore, Aksharam Prichet means he should ask for Paravidya. And then what will the Guru do? Naturally, the Guru is pleased. He sees here is a very sincere, committed student who has come to me. Because the Guru knows that students for Vedanta itself is a very rare commodity. But this student, he has come with Samitpanihi. That means what? The students has taken the trouble going to the jungle, collecting those, that sticks, thin samit, and then making a bundle, bringing it to the Guru. And from the very look of it himself, the Shishya looks, at Satvika Gunapradhana Shishya. And therefore the Guru will be very happy to receive such a Shishya with love. Teach the disciple, which is said in the next mantra. Now we will go to the next mantra, which is the last mantra of this section, which is mantra 22 of the Upanishad and 1.2.13 is the mantra reference. So we will chant the mantra. All ready? Unmute.
Yes.
Ready.
Tasmai saha
Tasmai
Tasmai
saha
vidwan upasannaya
vidvan
upasannaya
upasannaya
samyak
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 prashanta chittaya
prashanta chittaya
shamanvitaya
shamanvitaya
enaksharam purusham
enaksharam
purusham
purusham
veda
veda
satyam provacha
satyam
provacha
tam tatvatah
tam tatvatah
brahma vidyam.
brahma vidyam.
Good. So now you can all mute yourself. I will give you the Padacheda first. Tasmai saha vidwan upasannaya samyak prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya yena aksharam purusham veda satyam provacha tam tatvatah brahma vidyam. This is the Padacheda. Now I'll give you the gist of the mantra. The mantra says that the Guru will certainly give the knowledge to a qualified disciple. A Guru will never give excuses for teaching, for not teaching rather. Oh, I don't have time. Already I've got so many students, it'll be very difficult to add one more. So all that he will not say. If a serious student comes, says, I want to join, even though the Guru might have already started the Upanishad, or whatever teaching he is doing, he must have few classes are already over. This Shishya comes and he requests. And if the Guru feels that he is a very qualified Shishya, he is a right Shishya, he will say, happily, he will say, please come in. Because he knows that this Shishya is capable of making up whatever he has, for late coming rather. So he will only be happy to teach. And while referring to the qualified disciple, the Upanishad refers to the qualification of Samadhi Shatka Sampattihi, which was left out in the previous mantra. In the previous mantra, we discussed Viveka, Vairagyam, and Mumukshutvam were mentioned as qualifications for the student. Shamadhi Sampatti was left out. So out of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, 3 were covered in the previous one. But important part which contains 6 disciplines, 6 sadhanas are covered in this mantra. So those qualifications are indicated. And also, when Shishya approaches the Guru, what will be the response of the teacher? Or rather, Bhashyakara says, what should be the response of the teacher? That is described here. This is the gist of the mantra. Now we will see the word meanings. Tasmai. Tasmai means to that disciple, to that student who is Samitpanihi and who is Nirvedamayat Brahmanaha, the one who has got Vairagyam, that disciple, Saha Vidwan. Saha Vidwan refers to the Guru. Samyak Upasannaya, who has approached properly. Approach properly means what? As I said, as per prescription of the Shastra. And where will we find the prescription of the Shastra? We did not go anywhere. The third mantra of this Upanishad itself, in the first section, there was this word Vidivat Upasannaha. We have discussed that what is Vidivat Upasannaha, in detail there. That is said here as Samyak Upasannaya. So the student who has approached properly with a request to the teacher to teach him, to such a student, the teacher will teach. That is the idea being conveyed. So as I said in the previous mantra, 3 qualifications of the students, namely Viveka, Vairagyam, and Mumukshutvam were mentioned. And now 2 more qualifications are highlighted. The first is Prashanta Chittaya, one whose chitta, mind, is prashanta, calm, one who has got emotional maturity, one whose mind is stabilized, one who has learned how to manage and direct the mind. That is Prashanta Chittaya. And the next one is Shamanvitaya. When we talk about Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti, we define Shama as what? Tranquility or control of the mind, managing the mind. But that meaning is already covered under Prashanta Chittaya. Therefore, Bhashyakara will say, Shamanvitaya here refers to the withdrawal or mastery of the sense organs. We will see it in detail when we discuss the Bhashya. So a person who has withdrawn his sense organs from outside objects is called Shamanvitaya. Because Sham Dhatu has got the meaning of Shanti, withdrawing. And it doesn't say withdrawal of Indriya or Manaha. We are using the word Shama for the mind. But the word Shama itself doesn't have this connotation of withdrawal of the mind. Shama basically means quieten, withdrawal, quietude. But in Tattva Bodha, because Dhamma and Shama both are mentioned, so we take one as the quietude of the mind and another is controlling the sense organs. Just to differentiate between Shama and Dhamma. Therefore, here, since the meaning of Shama is in the sense of withdrawal of the mind, Therefore, Shamanvitaya will mean Damayuktaya. So we will reverse the process. Damayuktaya means having mastery over the sense organs. Withdrawal of sense organs from the external objects which can distract the person in the meaning of Shamanvitaya. So Tasmai, to that student who is described by these three adjectives, Samyak Upasannaya, Prashanta Chittaya, Shamanvitaya, to that student, Saha Vidwan, that Vidwan. That Vidwan means that Guru, who is Shrotriya and Brahmanishta, who is a wise person. Provacha. Provacha literally means told. So the wise person told what? Tam Brahma Vidyam. He told that Brahma Vidya means he taught that Brahma Vidya. He imparted the knowledge of Brahman to that student who has approached properly and who is having Shama and Dhamma qualification. So by using the word Tam Brahma Vidya, the Upanishad wants to convey that what was referred to as Paravidya earlier is the same as Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of Brahman. And how did the teacher teach? Tattvataha. Tattvataha means as it is, as it should be told. So, unfolding the knowledge of Brahman using Adhyaropa, Apavada, Nyaya and other prakriyas like Drik, Drishya, Viveka, etc. It is not just giving the meaning, explaining the meaning of the mantras. What is Brahma Vidya? How it should be taught? And in Shastra, this Adhyaropa, Apavada, Nyaya means the methodology of superimposition and negation. Drik Drishya Viveka means the understanding that the seer is different from the seen. Atma Anatma Viveka. So there are a lot of prakriyas in the Shastra which Shastra uses to convey the meaning, convey the message of the Upanishad. So Tattvataha means using all these methodologies which are required to impart the knowledge of Brahman. And what happens by this process? Yena, by which? Means by which Brahma Vidya, Veda, a person knows. The Sishya knows. Veda is a Kriya Padam. Yena Veda means by which Brahma Vidya the Sishya knows Aksharam, the imperishable. And what is that imperishable? Purusham. Here Purusham means Atma, the real self. The real self at the individual level and Brahman at the cosmic level, macro level. So if you remember the last sentence of the Bhashyam in the previous mantra, where Bhashyakara said, Priched Aksharam Purusham Satyam, Bhashyakara brings that idea there from this mantra only. Well, Bhashyakara in his Bhashyam, many times, he will give a clue at the end of the Bhashyam what is going to follow. Because this mantra says Guru imparts the knowledge of Purusham, Atma or Brahman, which is Satyam, unnegatable. So the meaning of the mantra is that a wise person who was referred to as Srotriyam Brahmanishtam in the previous mantra taught that Brahma Vidya or imparted the knowledge of that Brahman by which one knows the imperishable real Atma. And to whom did he teach? To that Shishya who has approached properly and who is having Shama and Dhamma, apart from the qualification mentioned in the previous mantra. So, to that qualified student, this qualified teacher teaches or taught Brahma Vidya, by which the Shishya understands the imperishable real self. So, this is the word meaning of the mantra. Now, we will enter the Bhashyam. So, as usual, we will read the whole Bhashyam and then discuss sentence by sentence. Okay. All of you can unmute. Sorry. It is not a very long Bhashyam, so it will be okay. Tasmai
Tasmai
Saha Vidwan
Saha
Vidwan
Guruhu
Guruhu
Brahmaved
Brahmavid
Upasannaya
Upasandhaya
Upagataya
Upagataya
Samyak
Samyak
Yata Shastram
Yata Shastram
Ityetat
Ityetat
Prashanta Chittaya
Prashantachitaya
Uparata
Uparata
Darpadi Doshaya
Darpadidoshaya
Shamanvitaya
Samantikaya
Bhakhendriya
Bhakhendriya
Uparamena
Uparamena
Yuktaya
Yuktaya
Sarvataha
Sarvataha
Viraktaya
Virakaya
Ityetat
Ityetat
Yena
Yena
Vijnanena
Vijnanena
Yaya Vidyaya
Yaya Vidyaya
Paraya
Paraya
Aksharam
Aksharam
Adreshyadi Visheshanam
Adreshyadi Visheshanam
Tadevaksharam
Tadevaksharam
Purusham
Purusham
Purusha Shabdavachyam
Purushabdavadyam
Purnatvad
Purnatvat
Purishayanacha
Purishayanacha
Satyam
Satyam
Tadeva
Tadeva
Paramartha
Paramartha
Swabhavyat
Svabhavyat
Aksharam cha
Aksharam cha
Aksharanat
Aksharanat
Akshatatvat
Akshatatvat
Akshayatvat cha
Akshayatvat
Veda
Veda
Vijanati
Vijanati
Tam Brahma Vidyam
Tam Brahma Vidyam
Tatvataha
Tattvatah
Yatavat
Yatavat
Provacha
Provacha
Prabhuyad
Prabhuyad
Ityartah
Ityartah
Acharyasyapi
Acharyasyapi
Ayam Niyamaha
Ayam Niyamah
Yanyaya Prapta
Yanyaya Prapta
Satchishya
Sakshitya
Nistaranam
Nistaranam
Avidya Mahodade.
Avidya Mahodade.
Very good. So now you can all mute yourself. So the first sentence is Tasmai saha vidwan guruhu brahmavid upasannaya upagataya samyak yata shastram ityetat. Tasmai, as we saw, means to that student who was described in the previous mantra. Saha vidwan means that person, that wise person. Vidwan means a wise person who was described as Srotriyam Brahmanishtam. Bhashyakara says, Saha Vidwan is equal to Guruhu Brahmavit. So the teacher who is the knower of Brahman. And we have to connect this to Provacha in the mantra. That is, the Vidwan means the Guru who is a Brahmavid told. Provacha means told or should tell to Tasmai, to that student. And what type of disciple? The disciple who is Upasannaya. Upasannaya is equal to Upagataya. Upagataya means the one who has gone, means one who has approached. The disciple who has approached the teacher. And how he has approached? Samyak. Bhashyakara explains Samyak as Yatha Shastram Ityetat. Means as per the instruction of the scriptures. What are the instructions of the scriptures? We have already seen Bhagavad Gita shloka. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That is the instruction given by the Shastra. And following that instruction is called Yatha Shastram, means as per the instruction of the scriptures. And that is the meaning of Samyak. So Samyak is an adverb to Upasanna. The disciple who has approached the teacher properly, appropriately, in accordance with the instruction of the scriptures. So this is one adjective for the student, Samyak Upasannaya. Now the second adjective is given, Prashanta Chittaya. Bhashyakara explains as Uparita Darpadi Doshaya. As I said, literally, Prashanta Chittam means one whose mind has become quiet. And what do we mean by mind becoming quiet? Bhashyakara says, Uparata Darpadi Doshaya. One whose dosha, defects, as Darpadi. Darpa means arrogance. Darpadi means arrogance, etc. Or Uparata. Uparata means subsided. To a large extent resolved. So one whose mental problems, emotional issues like arrogance, anger, etc., they are all subsided. In Shastra, this Darpa is otherwise called Manitvam, Dambitvam, Himsa, Vakratvam. Various words are used. In fact, later on Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses all this. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa. He will say all those things. So all these things are all looked upon as a dosha, defects of the mind. And these are the limitations of the mind which are serious obstacles for attaining Brahma Vidya. Because for leading a Vyavaharika life, empirely successful life, This prashanta chittam may not be so much required. In fact, sometimes, this is required also in dealing with people. So even with all some of these doshas, people manage with that. So somehow, because in today's world, a person's success is measured only in material terms. Whether he is materially successful with crookedness, arrogance, etc., nobody bothers. But in terms of spiritual pursuit, in the field of spiritual pursuit, this manitvam, dambitvam, vakratvam, himsa, karatvam, all of them are considered to be doshas, defects. And one whose mind is quiet means one who is free from all these mental sickness, mental defects. And such a person is called prashanta chittaha. That means what? A person does not have a superiority complex. He doesn't consider himself to be a special person. He should not demand special treatment everywhere. And in fact, Krishna describes such persons first in the 16th chapter, where he says, Adyobi janavanasmi konyosti sadrusham maya. Who is there who is equal to me? Then he further describes such arrogant people in the 17th chapter. He says they are Damba Hankara Sanyukta hai Kama Raga Balanvita hai. So they are Damba Ahankara Sanyukta hai. I am the son of so and so. I require individual attention. Such people are lacking one important quality for spiritual pursuit. And that is humility. And that is a very big roadblock in approaching Vedanta, because Vedanta is saying that this ahankara has no place in moksha pursuit. Ahankara is to be understood as mithya. And therefore, if you are engaged in too much of puja and karmas, etc., if you are taking yourself to be a karta and bhokta, then what you are doing is you are feeding that ahankara, which then makes it very difficult to understand ahankara to be mithya. Because we have seen many people, they are very religious people, but they take pride. They will go on announcing, I do 3 times Sandhya Vandanam, I do all, Tarpadams and Sankramana, Shraddham, everything I do. They'll go on advertising to everybody. And if you ask them, they will say, no, I am trying to, not boast. I am trying to inspire other people to do the same thing. So these kind of indirectly also they will say all these things, So if you are involved in that, you can never understand ahankara to be a mithya. So therefore, there is no place for darpadi doshas in Brahma Vidya. Vidya vinaya shobhate. Vidya vinayena shobhate. Vinaya means humility. If humility is there, then only Vidya will shine. And this applies to all other related doshas like manitvam, pride, dambitvam, hypocrisy, himsa, violence, both at physical and mental level, vakratvam, crookedness, dishonesty, etc. We can include all these and more such negative traits in darpadi dosha. So uparata darpadi doshaya, which is necessary for the one who is prashanta chitta. Only then will Vidya shine and benefit the person. Because it is said that a patient has to be totally transparent with the doctor. He should not hide anything from the doctor, otherwise, the doctor will not be able to properly diagnose the problem and then give the medicine or treatment. Similarly, a student has to be totally transparent with the teacher. And this quality is called arjavam, straightforwardness, sincerity, honesty, simplicity. Otherwise, what will happen? Teacher will know, no, if he is a experienced teacher, he will know this student for some other reason he has come to me. He has come to the Gurukulam. In fact, when I was studying in the Gurukulam, there were a couple of students who were asked to leave the Gurukulam because the teachers found that they are interested in other things and all that. I don't want to go into the details, but things which are not in tune with learning Vedanta. So they were called, counseled, and asked to leave. So therefore, the teacher will lose interest in such students. The next adjective is shamanvitaya, which is there in the Moolam. Shama anvitam, shamanvitam. So as I said, Prashanta Chittaya itself covers Shama, and therefore Bhashyakara gives a slightly different shade of meaning. He explains as Bahyendriya Uparamena Cha Yuktaya. Yuktaya means endowed with. Uparamena means by withdrawal of. Bahyendriya means the external sense organs, which are what? Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani. They are called Bahendriya, external organs, because they are not Antarendriya, internal instruments. They are not part of Antakaranam, which are Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. So compared to them, these organs are external. Therefore, they are called Bahendriya. And they are Uparama, withdrawn. So by the withdrawal of the external organ means, in Tattvabodha language, that is Dhamma. Therefore, Prashanta Chittaya referred to as Shama, and Shamanvitaya refers to Dhamma. So one is free from this extrovertedness of the organs. And therefore, if the mind and sense organs are quiet and withdrawn, what does it mean? They don't run outwards. They are not extrovert. So this is one more qualification of the student. So three qualifications are described. Samyak Upasannaya, Prashanta Chittaya, and Shamanvitaya. And Bhashyakara summarizes these qualifications by saying, Sarvato Viraktaya Ityetat. Virakta means detached. Detached from Sarvataha, from everything. Of course, everything does not mean detached from moksha also. Everything means from all extrovertedness, but all other material pursuits, including emotional, entanglements, relationships, which are all potential emotional problems. So, Sarvatah Viraktaya means detached from all other anatma padarthas. He is detached from all drishya padartha. And detached means what? It is not that he has developed some hatred or something. Detached means, as we saw in the previous mantra, Pariksha Lokan. who has seen the limitations of all of them in terms of attaining moksha. He or he clearly understands that all these are not capable of delivering moksha purushartha. It means this person has got vairagyam for everything. And now to that person, the Acharya teaches Brahma Vidya. Ityetat means this is the meaning. Now the second part of the mantra is explained. Enaksharam purusham veda satyam provacha tam tatvatah Brahma Vidyam. Bhashyakara says, Yena Vijnanena Yaya Vidyaya Paraya Aksharam Adreshyadi Visheshanam Tadeva Aksharam Purusham Purusha Shabda Bhachyam Purnatvat Purishayanacha Satyam Tadeva Paramartha Swabhavyat Aksharam Cha Aksharanat Akshatvat Akshayatvacha Veda Vijanati Tam Brahma Vidyam तत्वतः यतावत् प्रोवाच प्रब्रूया इत्यर्थः प्रब्रूयात् इत्यर्थः. One sentence learning into 4 lines. So yena means by which, and he explains by which means yena vijnanena, by which knowledge. So here yena is a relative pronoun. It is connected with tam Brahma Vidya. So there is a grammatical discrepancy in the mantra. And so, of course, only for Sanskrit students, other people don't get frustrated. Because these are all small, subtle points, We have got students who have some knowledge of Sanskrit. And if you have got some knowledge of Sanskrit, as I keep saying, Bhashyam is one area where you can improve your Sanskrit knowledge. So I will, sometimes introduce some grammatical issues. Other people need not worry about it. So what is the grammatical discrepancy in the mantra? The discrepancy is yena is either masculine or neutral gender. Whereas tam Brahma Vidyam is feminine. So the relative pronouns is masculine or neutral gender, and the correlative is feminine, which is a violation of grammar rules. Because the relative and correlative have got to have the same gender. That is a grammar rule. But Bhashyakara does not want to overlook this grammatical discrepancy by saying, okay, it's all allowed in Shastra, Chandasa Prayoga, etc. He manages this very nicely. So first he gives the meaning as per Shruti's word. He says yena means vijnanena. So this is the meaning which is in accordance with the neutral gender. Yena vijnanena. Vijnanam is neutral gender. So yena he takes as a neutral gender. By which knowledge? Then he knows that finally this word is to be connected to tam tatvatah Brahma Vidyam. So he brings in the feminine gender words in here. After saying yena vijnanena, he says yaya vidyaya paraya. So here yena, which is a neuter gender, he converts it into yaya, by which. Meaning is the same. Well, in English it will not matter because both yena and yaya will be translated as by which. But in Sanskrit it makes a difference. So yaya vidyaya paraya means yaya vidyaya paraya refers to paravidya, the higher knowledge. So yena immediately means by which knowledge, and afterward it is to be converted into by which higher knowledge. So by which higher knowledge, one understands this Param Brahma, Paramatma. And that Paramatma is described by various words. Now, what are those? Aksharam, Purusham, Satyam. Bhashyakara explains all these three words. First, he gives a broad definition of the three words. He will elaborate that later. So, he gives a general idea about what Aksharam is. He says Aksharam is equal to Adreshyadi Visheshanam. Adreshyadi Visheshanam means the one for which Adresya etc. are the specifications. Visheshanam literally means adjectives, but really speaking, that Brahman is free from all attributes, and therefore Visheshanam, here we cannot take it in the sense of describing the qualities. Therefore, Visheshanam should be translated as specification, description. So, Aksharam refers to that Brahma Tattvam, which was described in the mantra 1.1.6. We have probably repeated that mantra n number of times. Yat, 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 tat, adreshyam, agrahyam, etc. You know how many times we have repeated. That is what he is referencing here. Adreshyadi Visheshanam means the one for which Adresha, etc. are the specification. Tadeva Aksharam. That Akshara Tattvam alone, that imperishable reality alone is Purusham. And Aksharam Brahma is known as Purushaha in the scriptures. In several places, the very same Aksharam Brahma is called Purusha. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita also, 13th chapter, we will see Prakritim Purushan Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi. Then in 15th chapter, Krishna says Uttama Purushasvanyaha Paramatmetyudahritaha. Kathopanishad also, it is referred to as Purusha. Purushanna param kinchit sa kashta sa paragatihi. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, several other Upanishads also, the word Purusha is used for Aksharam Brahma. And Purusham, Bhashyakara says, means Purusha Shabda Vachyam. That which is called Purusha in the Shastra. And why is Bhashyakara specifically saying this? Because one popular meaning of Purusha means a male member. And therefore, he wants us to correctly understand what is meant by Purusha. He says it's not a male member, but here Purusha means Purusha Shabda Vachyam, that reality which is referred to by the word Purusha. So Purusha Shabda Vachyam means that which is denoted by or referred to by the word Purusha. Then he explains why that reality is called Purusha. He says Purnatvat. So Purnatvat Purusha hai. And in fact, grammatically, this word Purusha is derived in two ways. One is Piparti Sarvan or Purayati Sarvan iti Purusha hai. That which fills up everything is a Purusha. The verbal root is Purane, which means to fill, to complete. That which fills up everything. Means what? That which pervades everything. So this meaning is Purayati Sarvan iti Purusha. So Purnatvat Purusha. So one meaning is Purusha is that which is pervading everything. So this Akshara Tattva is called Purusha because it is Purna. Purna means what? Pipatti iti Purnam. That which is filling up everything is Purnam. So the Akshara Tattvam Brahman is called Purusha because it is pervading, filling up everything. This is one meaning. We will see more in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavad everyone. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी हरि ओम
Hari Om. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Yes, Lataji.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Guruji, I think sometimes the same doubts keep arising again and again. This in the spiritual language, it might appear a very basic question, but what exactly is ahankara? Only the doership is ahankara, or is there something? Because I'm given to understand. Yes, this is mine and this is not mine. So by which faculty, which is you? Okay, this is me and this is my mobile, and this is me. This is not me, and that's also a very native requirement for self-preservation as well. So that's the one part of ahankara, aham thing, aham factor. And my another question related to this is for someone who is on the path of spirituality, is feeling hurt or sad, is that also a part of ahankara?
Okay, over questions?
Am I audible, Guru?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
Guruji.
audible. So I will answer the first question. See, there are two terminologies we use in the Shastra, ahankara and mamakara. So ahankara is ego, as we call it, ego. In English, the simple meaning we can say ego. And if you want to see, understand what is ego, it includes so many things. So basically, ahankara means the feeling or the taking oneself to be the be all and end all in everything. So I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I have got, all these relatives are all mine. That comes under a mamakara. So ahankara leads to mamakara. So ahankara and mamakara actually go together. Because of ahankara, all your pursuits are there, material pursuits. I want to buy a big house. I want to buy a BMW car. So all those places, the I which you are using is the I which is which I? Which I is that?
The smaller I or the ahankara I?
Small I, ahankara I, body, mind, sense, complex I.
But that's
all these things are related to what?
I know. What's that? Anitya.
Your body, mind, sense complex itself, isn't it?
Hmm.
When you are referring to yourself, I, Lata Vijay Ram, is what? What? Whose name is Lata
Yeah, that's
Vijay
body
Ram?
mind sense complex.
It is your body, mind, sense complex is Lata Vijay Ram, right? So you are retaining
Yeah,
your
yes.
name and you are identifying yourself with that name. Starting right from that, the ahankara takes various shapes like I am the doer. When people praise you, oh, you are a great doctor, you have done a great treatment, you feel, bloated, oh, I am great. I'm so and so and so. People recognize me. All, different manifestations of ahankara. And then what happens? Ahankara gives way to mamakara. You have acquired all these things. Oh, this bungalow is mine. This car is mine. These people are mine. This child is mine. That leads to mamakara. So basically, ahankara is the root cause and gives rise to all the other. And what are all these things? Simply put, emotional entanglements. Because
But isn't it required for progression, Guruji?
it is
that,
required for progression as long as you are in the material world, in Vyavaharika world, you are there, it is required. That's why I said, sometimes, when you are a grihastha, these are all required. Because suppose you take the case of your children. Little bit of arrogance, little bit of anger, and all that is required. Some violence also, of course, in your part of the world, violence cannot be, the legal hurdles are there. But in India, one can even beat up a child rather without inviting any. Of course, beat up means I'm not saying that, very this thing, but, giving a slap and things like that and all. So that all is required as long as you are in the Vyavaharika world. But once you have chosen your path, once you have chosen, no, I am going to now onwards travel in the spiritual path.
Yeah.
Then these are all doshas, these are all problems. These will actually, what they say, pull you back from your spiritual progress. And therefore, Vairagyam and all that, Viveka, Vairagyam and all becomes necessary for us. It is just like, take the example of a athlete, who is going to run a nationals or even Olympics, etc. Till he made up his mind, okay, I want to run for this national game, and, he will start training. Then what he will do, in terms of his food, in terms of his exercise, his whole lifestyle he will change if he is serious about that commitment. He cannot be having on the one hand fatty stuff, and then on the other hand he will say, I want to become this, by increasing the weight and then also running some, marathon. Is not going to go together. So he has to give up so many things. Earlier, he must have had, going to restaurants with his family and things like that and all, having all chole, bature, what not. Now his goal is what? Running the marathon. So he has to give up, tell the family, I'm sorry, I cannot come for your chole bature party or whatever party you are going to throw with full of, oil, ghee and all that. No, I cannot eat all those things. He will go to a coach. The coach will coach him. He will tell everything, what he should eat, what he should not eat, what time he should get up. I think some of the beautiful movies have come in Hindi, that Chak De India movie. Then there was one movie I have seen about some two girls, they do this, what is that, kushti, this, yeah,
Dangal.
wrestling, yeah, dangal, yeah.
Wrestling.
Just see, they're all, because they have now got a different goal in life. So their total lifestyle is changed, and spirituality requires that. It requires a complete change in your thinking, your way of life. Completely sattvic conversion you have to do. Food sattvic, thinking sattvic, behavior sattvic, conduct sattvic. Everything has to be sattvic, increasing the sattvic guna. So this is ahankara and mamakara business, which are obstacles. Then your second question was about what? I think
Is someone getting hurt or
yeah, so
sad?
someone
Is it
getting
also
hurt. So if you know that I am not this body, mind, sense complex. So somebody, let us say, abuses you. Then what should be your response? One response, you abuse back. But if that person is a very senior person that you cannot actually, abuse back, you may keep quiet. But inside you will be, fuming. Oh, this fellow has said like this and all. The third alternative is what? You say, oh, he is abusing what? My body, mind, sense complex, which I am not. That's okay. Let him abuse my body, mind, sense complex. Atma, I am identifying myself with the Atma now. This is not going to affect me. So if you are identifying with the body, mind, sense complex, the feeling of hurt will be there. In fact, the feeling of guilt also will be there if it, by chance, some of us may have that guilt feeling. For example, our children, they are not behaving properly, or they have gone the wrong path. They suppose, I'm giving an example, taken to drugs. Many parents, they will have a guilt feeling. Oh, did I do something wrong in my life? Did I not guide my child properly? So the hurt and guilt again are two consequences of this ahankara only. But what's the question you are asking? Did I not do? Means you are supposed to do something you did not do and all. If I am akarta, I take myself to be akarta, I won't bother about whether I did or not. I will, easily understand, okay, that is his prarabdha. That fellow has to do this. I've got enough knowledge of the scriptures to understand what happens in one's life at various stages and who controls all that. It is his own karmas, which is past karmas, which have now, they are all turning into all these kind of behavioral pattern. I as Atma, Purusha, have nothing to do with it. So this is what is Atma, Anatma, Viveka business. We have to bring into every transaction in the Vyavaharika life and then move towards spirituality. So in that event, even if somebody hurts you, of course, physically also hurts you, mentally hurts you, emotionally hurts you, you will just, that's why they say, forgive, forget, move on. Because these are all not, you are keeping these things in your mind is going to hurt you only. They are actually poison that you are allowing your body to, take on. And then physically also you will have problems with that. So even from a Vyavaharika point of view, one needs to change one's attitude towards all these things. And these are all the do's of the spiritual journey, rather. I mean, I can tell you, it is not all very easy. I mean, easily said than done. If you go and tell this to all normal, people, they'll say, this fellow has gone bonkers, he's got something wrong with him. But they will say it's not practical and all that. And many of us, actually, I was also so mad. So one stage in my life saying all these things when I started listening to Vedanta and all, I was also dismissing all these things. They are all not practical. With the family and all, it is not possible to do all these things and all that. But now over a period of time, years passed, more and more knowledge gaining. By teaching also, I'm gaining knowledge. Now I understand these are all possible, but then it requires, as you are, it is not possible. But if you change yourself, if you bring in a totally different regimen, all this is possible.
Just the switch in our way of thinking. And
yes, that is what is the transformation which Bhagavad Gita also wants you to do, with Vedanta also wants you to do. So all these are all transforming vidyas, rather. Just like that, 25 years I'm attending Upanishad classes, Bhagavad Gita classes is not going to be of any use unless, you take the messages and then consciously work towards transforming your life bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. There'll be many challenges. Your family will not like it. People, your friends will not like it. But their liking or disliking should not matter to you. This is the spiritual journey, a separate journey, which only very few chosen people will get an opportunity in this life. And if you are serious about it, you should be serious about it.
Sure,
Did it
Guruji.
answer your questions?
Yes, Guruji, very much and very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hariom.
Pranam, Guruji.
Pranam. Any other
Hariom, Guru.
question? I think no hands are going up. Okay. We'll close the session, continue next Monday. Okay. Hari Om. Thank you.
Hariom, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you,
Good
Guruji.
night.
Hari Om.